Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sri Kumar from EDS Technologies. Today, the webinar is on how to leverage technology to accelerate lightweight engineering. The end benefits are like minimizing part weight and reducing cost. So I will introduce myself first before getting into the agenda. I'm Sri Kumar. I take care of technical support and technology sales for Karnataka and Kerala regions. I have been working with EDS Technologies for last 17.5 years, working in various roles and again, working also on-site for customers like Ashok Leyland, ADA, and also Daimler. So I have worked through on-site as well as I have worked through technical support and technology sales departments. So I represent the complete functions for Karnataka and Kerala regions. So today I'm going to deliver this webinar with respect to lightweight engineering, especially focused on automotive industry. So the end objective is that how to minimize the part weight and reduce cost, and what are all the different functions that are available as a part of technologies which can address this lightweight engineering. So before getting into the webinar, I would like to give a small brief about EDS Technologies. EDS Technologies is incorporated in 1994 to focus on product life cycle management, visual simulation solutions, and mining solutions for sales, implementation, and technical support. So when I say PLM, it includes all the aspects of PLM, that is the computer-aided design CAD, then computer-aided design machining CAM, and also the CAE simulations. Apart from that, the product lifecycle management functions, which includes data management, document management, project management, supply chain management, all aspects of PLM. And secondly, we also provide important software to government and defense on visual simulation solutions. This is particularly for event simulations where we can create and run the event simulation using these solutions. We represent all Dassault System solutions on PLM. That is the brands you must be aware about: CATIA, which is basically meant for product design excellence, and then Innovia, which is enterprise innovation via interactive application. Innovia is a major PLM brand globally, which is again from Dassault Systems. And then Simulia, this is basically for realistic simulations. Again, high-end, both linear and non-linear simulations can be run through Simulia as a brand. In that, you might have already come across the softwares like Abacus, AFISAFE, Tosca, iSight, so on so. And also the brands are represented from mining solutions are Geovia. Again, we have the best of expert mining consultants available in our system who can provide the best of consultancy for mining market in India. We are working closely with most of the mining software companies across India. Similarly, for visual simulation solutions also, we are providing these solutions to government and defense organizations in particular, wherein the event simulations can be created, say for example, like cockpit simulations, or it could be something like a missile launch. So such kind of simulations can be performed through these visual simulation solutions. And again, we have most of the government customers like NAL, DRDO Labs, all DRDO run group of companies, and then HAL, NAL, ISRO. So we represent most of them under this particular segment. And we are also platinum partner to Dassault Systems in India, representing the large volume of business for Dassault Systems. And also we have more than 1,700 active customers across India, wherein we are headquartered at Bangalore, and we are again having multiple offices in Chennai, Pune, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Noida. So these are the locations from where we operate, and then we provide technical support, then sales, and also the consulting and services from these locations. So we have strategic alliances with major principals like Dassault Systems. Then we are also partnered with the Human Solutions Inc. For human ergonomic solutions. That is Ramsys is the brand, and we are also partnered with the Technia, basically meant for product data quality tools. And we are also partnered with EVOS, which is basically providing 3D printing machines to the market. So we provide both metal and polymer 3D printers across India. And also we represent several principals like Synopsys, basically for majorly for power electronics segment. We provide softwares like Sabre RT and Sabre EXP. And also we also cater to academic segment through Dassault Systems Academia Solutions, as well as E3 and Festo. And again, Festo is again a well-known brand for Industry 4.0 best practices. So we provide a complete range of solutions which will go with the PLM, which are relevant to PLM field as such. So this is the complete portfolio that we represent, and we have been working in this market for the last 25 years. Recently, we completed our Silver Jubilee, and we have a strong team of around 200 plus employees across all locations to take care of sales, technical support, and also the administration and rest of the other functions. So we have also developed our own EDST e-learning portal, which is basically to cater to online trainings. So again, the training courses will come in both, on the software tools as well as domain applications. We represent complete knowledge of tools on EDST e-learning. So definitely people who are interested in EDST e-learning, they can access through edstelearning.com, and you can find more than 170 plus courses which are readily available, which are self-learning tools available online. You can definitely log on to them, and you can go through the specific niche courses. So we have a complete system integration skills. Again, we cater to most of the OEMs in India, like Airbus, Bombardier, then Boeing, and all their suppliers. Similarly, in the automotive segment also, we work closely with BMW, Daimler, Ashok Leyland, and all their suppliers. So and Tata Motors, so Mahindra and Mahindra. We represent most of the OEMs in India and their supplier segment as well. So we have the complete system integration skills to support even the startups, even in EV segment as well. So this is the brief about Dassault EDS technologies. And with this, I will move forward with the agenda of the webinar. So I'll start with introduction to lightweight engineering. That is why this lightweight engineering is a talking point of the town, and how different industry segments are getting benefited. And also, what are the multiple technologies which can be leveraged for lightweight engineering? From the software tools perspective, what is already available, readily available, which can be utilized effectively, so that you can reduce the overall cost of the part, or you can reduce the weight of the part, and also you can save a lot of time. So there are multiple functions through which you can experience lightweight engineering, like function-driven generative design, SFE concepts, then reverse engineering, and also composite materials, using again hydroform sheet metal design processes, stamping die phase design, and mold and tooling design. So these are some of the functions through which I'll be highlighting how it contributes to lightweight engineering. Then followed by some of the customer references along with these multiple technologies which we are going to go through. And finally, we can have a question and answer session at the last. And definitely you can message your questions, or you can directly come directly live, and you can also pose questions after the session. So what is this lightweight engineering is all about? So it has two most important aspects. One is having the less weight and showcasing the best of performance, that is better performance. So intelligent lightweight construction systems for a reduction of energy and material requirements. Typically, we want every automotive vehicle be it a two-wheeler or four-wheeler, or it could be even locomotive, any transportation mobility segment under which it falls, it has to take care of the energy requirements as well as the material requirements. It has to meet the functional requirements, and also the lightweighting should cater to the fuel efficiency of the vehicles, and also it has to meet the government's regulations and emissions and standards. So this is the typical scenario through which most of the automotive OEMs and supplier and their suppliers, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 suppliers, they work through and they constantly will be working on how to reduce weight of a given component, part or assembly, so and so. So here I take an I will take examples with respect to automotive industry, as we have the complete focus of webinar on automotive industry in place. So again, if I have to go back to the basics of lightweight engineering, or it is popularly also known as lightweighting, which is basically a method for identifying the lazy parts. So when I say lazy parts, typically a lazy part, it describes a system. It can be a part or assembly or device in an automobile whose mass or portion of the mass is unnecessary. So we need to look at such parts. They may contribute as a whole to the assembly as a system, but again, their mass is something which is unnecessary, which we can identify them in the initial stage, and we can try to replace them or redesign them. So a lazy part is basically like whose mass is unnecessary because the system is only required during assembly process, and that particular part or assembly is required, satisfies no functional requirements, or the system's functions can be replaced by redesigning the system. Totally the change of solution principle, and then systems functions can be transferred to another system by integration. That is, a part can be merged with another part to make it as a one single part, and then systems function can be conducted by an optimized system. So these are the this is the typical terminology we use in automotive sector. So we need to identify these lazy parts, and then how to either replace them or redesign them or merge with the other systems or optimize them. So we look at all these aspects in the form of lightweighting or lightweight engineering. So for example, we can do the weight reductions in hexagonal screws, wall ceilings, brackets, stiffening plates, your front floor carpets or support frames, air ducts, and front bumper trims, all different types of trims. We can look at how to reduce the weight in all these components, which are, by reducing in terms of certain percentage, we benefit from that. Suppose if you take, the weight reduction in terms of say 1% to 5%, it means a lot with respect to the entire assembly as a car. So if suppose in case, if you take an example of a car, if you are reducing even 5% weight, it is mounting to almost, almost 100 plus kg, which is a major benefit in terms of energy, fuel and efficiency. So we are going to look in all those aspects in terms of weight reduction, which is going to augment the energy requirements in a better way. So these are some of the examples with respect to lightweight engineering, where we will be identifying the lazy parts and we reduce the mass in such a way that it is going to reduce the overall weight, improve the overall efficiency or fuel efficiency or the energy part, and also it without losing the functional requirements. The performance has to get better by reducing the weight. At the same time, you are also going to save a lot of money in terms of cost. So this is a typical introduction I wanted to give on lightweight engineering, and let us move on to the next step, where we will be describing on what kind of technologies which can contribute to lightweight engineering. So in this case, it is a very simple fact that many of us know, if I change the material with a light with a lesser density, and then it is going to have a lot of impact on the overall weight of the component or assembly. So we can change materials. So we can make use of alloys, we can make use of composite materials. Today we have vast range of composite materials available. So we can make use of those materials even in our automotive industry effectively, and it is going to have a long-lasting impact on the overall assembly weight. So one of the ways to reduce the weight is to going for changing the material, like examples of composites. And the another part of technology which can be used for reducing the lightweight is geometry and function. We can look at the shape optimization, because this is something which every R&D organization of an organization looks forward to. So when you change the geometry, when you change the shape of the part or an assembly, it is going to have a bigger impact in terms of overall weight and also the performance. So how to arrive at the best geometry and best shape using specific optimization tools. That is another aspect of the technology which can be utilized under lightweight engineering. Then the third thing is, like, we have manufacturing processes. So through these processes also we can reduce the lead time, we can reduce the overall cost, we can reduce the overall weight of the parts by going through certain processes. Suppose here is an example of hydroforming sheet metal design. If it is hydroformed sheet metal design, definitely it is going to make a bigger impact in terms of performance as well, and at the same time it will yield low cost in terms of overall weight. So this is by manufacturing processes also we can go for the lightweight engineering. And here in this case, the latest technologies on additive manufacturing can also be very much effective, because we are going to add the material. We are coming out of traditional practices like machining, wherein we call it as a subtractive manufacturing, because we keep on removing the materials. So that is going to result in a bigger waste, which can be definitely avoided. So by manufacturing process of 3D printing or additive manufacturing, we can go for lightweight components. Then the next aspect of technology which can be utilized for lightweight engineering is joining techniques. In the sense, we have a fastening process in the vehicle on BIW, body in white. So we go for thousands of fasteners, and then how do we go for such important elements which will weld together many components in the assembly. So by having a by choosing special techniques on fastening, we can also reduce the weight, and we can also reduce the overall cost of the vehicle. So these are some of the important functions or technologies through which a lightweight can be achieved in automotive industry. One is materials, manufacturing processes, joining techniques, and also the geometry and functions. So let us see one by one in this process. So we have a lot of roles or modules available within CATIA, which is a well-known software in the CAD world, wherein we can make use of these CATIA advanced modules to reduce the weight and improve the performance. So we can do weight optimization using additive manufacturing techniques. At the same time, I can go for design for manufacturing using composites. So making use of carbon fibers or aluminum and titanium, some of the few examples which have come across. So we can make use of these composite materials, which will make the entire component very light. At the same time, it is going to provide the best of stiffness and also the thermal resistance, corrosion resistance, so on. So similarly, we can also optimize the entire vehicle body as well using the simulation concepts. So I will be explaining these points one by one in the coming slides. So on the right side, you can also see we can optimize the manufacturing of thinner plastic parts with conformal cooling, and also we can optimize manufacturing of sheet metal parts. We can also look at the overall weight of the assembly. We can monitor the weight, and we can balance the weight along the entire development cycle. And we can also make use of optimized fastening process through which we can cut down on the overall weight and also the design lead time and so on. So these are some of the techniques which are readily available under CATIA 3D Experience or CATIA V5. So we can make use of these advanced modules to achieve the expected lightweight of a given part or assembly or a device. So let us start with the first function, like composite materials. Then we can go for, in terms of geometry and functions. If you have to go for topology optimization, we can definitely go for a cognitive augmented design. So we can go for how to augment the design coming from the simulation experiences. I'm going to highlight on that, focus on that as well. Then comes optimizing the overall vehicle body structure by using the simulation driven design process. So that is another area. And also we have reverse engineering, through which we can we can scan the image of a particular data, get the CloudPoint data within the system, work on the best of surfaces, come out with the best surface quality, and make use of the surface for better creation of better parts with a lesser weight. That is also very much possible through this. Then we can go for hydroformed sheet metal design, which is a well-known process in the sheet metal fabrication industry, and stamping die face design, wherein we can virtually analyze all aspects of die face design, remove the scrap elements, and then ensure that we have reduced delays also, and at the same time we can manage all kinds of design iterations easily. Then mold and tooling design process. Again, here we have a complete set of libraries available as a part of CATIA, which will ensure that you go through the complete set of process of mold and tooling design, again with the most effective processes, which can result in reducing the cost as well as reducing the overall weight. So, and then the joining techniques, as I said, we can also make use of fasteners. This is another process through which lightweight engineering can be achieved. So I will just highlight on each and every one aspect of these elements, which are going to work for the lightweight engineering. So I'll start with the geometry and function, because it is easier to modify the design and get the best of shape of a given model or a part, and then check for the performance and implement that. So we'll start with this process, which we call it as cognitive augmented design. So a human brain can recognize unknown shapes, and then they can be augmented in the form of design process. So here in this case, there is a model which is which in the beginning, which is there, which has got a certain mass or a weight, and then which has a typical functions. So looking at those functional requirements, by respecting the functional requirements, we can start the process. We can also check for the loading conditions, and we can also set the manufacturing process as well. So manufacturing process can be like it can be a milling process, or it can be casting, or it could be even additive manufacturing. So we can set the manufacturing process in this aspect, and we can run through simulation, find out where exactly the stresses are coming in, and keep those areas where stresses are coming in, and remove the areas where there is no stress or pressure distribution all across. So by removing such kind of areas where there is no difference in terms of stress levels or pressure distribution, we can remove those areas in the form of shape, and come out with the areas which are actually contributing towards the loading conditions and performance. So by doing so, we can do this shape optimization through a combined or integration of design, manufacturing, and simulation. So we are bringing all these three elements together under one single roof, which is called as function-driven generative design. So using this particular process, I'll be able to run through the simulation, understand where exactly the stresses are coming in, keep aside those stressed areas, and remove the areas which are not required for, which are not contributing towards the loading and performance, and then arrive at the final shape. So this shape can be again in the formed based on specific manufacturing processes. As I said, it could be casting process or milling process, or it could be additive manufacturing as well. In additive manufacturing, there are no constraints because we are just adding the material by using different 3D printing machines. So this way, by combining designing, simulation, and manufacturing under one roof, we are arriving at the final shape, optimized shape of a model, and which we can make use of such models for weight reduction as well as cost reduction. So this is called as a cognitive augmented design, which is in place. So similarly, we can actually move from current traditional design to a science-based generative approach, because we are able to recognize such augmented shapes for the design and implement those shapes with respect to specific manufacturing processes. So typically you can see on the left side how the initial part looks like. So you see a bracket clamping with a stiffener, and then you also see a simple assembly design which to start with, and how it has finally resulted in. So this is possible only because we are able to integrate modeling and simulation along with manufacturing constraints in place. So using CATIA function generative design, we are able to eliminate such weight when we are going to arrive at the optimized shape, which is also manufacturable from the perspective of manufacturing. So that is how we arrive at lightweight engineering and reduce the weight and reduce the cost as well. So I will take one more example in this regard. So if you see the legacy component on the left side, it is around 414 grams, whereas the milling the component which has gone through milling process, it is around 324 grams. There is again 78% of the actual weight of the first component. And when you go through additive manufacturing, there are no manufacturing constraints in the beginning phase of design. There you can see the best of shape coming in without losing any performance with respect to the functional requirements. So without losing the performance of a given component, we are able to arrive at the overall 55% of the weight with respect to the legacy component which is there on the left side. So I will take one example of automotive industry, wherein we are able to see this kind of weight reduction process in place. So this is a typical example of a car hinge. So this hinge is used for opening and closing the door. You can see that. So this is a typical component which is going to go through this process of topology and shape optimization. So what we do is that we recognize all the locations where there is motion happening through kinematics, the loading conditions, because there is certain load acting from the car assembly. We take care of those loading conditions, and we set the restraints and clamping conditions, like the way what we do with respect to simulation, CAE simulation setup, we do that. And then we go for a first case, wherein we set the manufacturing process of, say, casting or milling or additive manufacturing. So we can set that manufacturing process and constraints and do the study. So this is a quick study which is running on the design. So if it is a manufacturing process, how the motion is going to be and what is the reduced weight of the component. If it is additive layer manufacturing, how the component is going to look like and how the motion is going to look like. We can do this kind of validations and studies on this component and finally arrive at the best optimized weight component for this particular requirement. So this is how the geometry and function as a technology can be utilized using a combination of design, simulation, and optimization. So this is one example I wanted to highlight with respect to a lightweight engineering. So if you see in terms of process, we are doing from the design space, from the legacy component, we are setting the functional specifications, we are going through concept generation. Then finally, when the shape is removed, we are finally creating the exact solid generation. Then we go for testing that exact solid in the FEA workbench, and then go through the simulation and see whether performance is same or better. So we can optimize the performance, we can optimize the weight, and as a result also the cost. So this is something which is possible from using CATIA function generative design. So the benefits are that, you can quickly run through a separate set of manufacturing processes, and then you can arrive at best of shapes using these processes, and you can finalize and optimize the design, resulting in lightweight engineering. So these are some of the advantages, because software is able to calculate those areas where there is no impact of stress or pressure. It is able to identify those areas and remove that particular area, material in that particular area, and come out with a exact solid model, an optimized model, which is far better in terms of performance and reduced weight. So this is something which is possible under one workbench called CATIA function driven generative design. And it is also easy to quickly learn also. Any designer who knows a little bit of analysis, he can run through this process, and he can start making use of this entire process under geometry and function technologies. Then the second one is, I will go for second process called SFE concepts. Basically, SFE concept is it drives the entire vehicle body structure as one. So in this case, Dassault has come up with SFE concept, which is nothing but simulation of FE mesh models, which can be done very quickly, and we can arrive at the overall body structure with the different design of experiments. So I will run through this process using SFE concepts here. So in this case, we have set of libraries which are readily available. We can bring in all those components one by one, position them correctly, and then make an assembly from the library directly. So this is something which is very much feasible under SFE concepts. So the ready-made models are available as a part of library. Just bring them in and assemble them. And then these sub-assemblies which are there in place, they can be even, they are all parameterized models, in the sense they can be modified in all possibilities in terms of height, length, and width definitions, and we can change those models in a very short span of time. So in this case, the meshing also will be very faster, because already there are built-in libraries available from the SFE concepts. So we can quickly create the entire body. We can merge two bodies together and then make the complete body structure in a very short span of time. And second thing is, after creating this body structure, we can also quickly analyze the different variants, again, by positioning the particular structure in the chassis frame, how it is going to impact the overall performance. We can do all that. So we can quickly do that using this topology optimization tools, which are part of Simulia. So these SFE concepts are readily available. Now in this case, we can run through set of variables and design of experiments, and we can arrive at the final assembly shape. We can increase the overall height of the vehicle assembly, or we can reduce the overall height of the assembly based on the simulation constraints. We can check for all kinds of analysis, say static analysis or crash analysis. There is frontal crash and side crash analysis. All these things we can run through effectively in a very short span of time, because we already have inbuilt libraries meant for the overall body structure. So by keeping certain variables and constants, we can arrive at the final dimensions of a given assembly in automotive segment. Similarly, the same concept, SFE concepts, can also be utilized in other segments as well. Here we are able to see, by changing the B pillar position, we are able to increase or decrease the overall height of the vehicle. So the same also is available under locomotive segment, wherein in the railways, we can set the railway cabins, and we can see how fast we can change the overall design of the locomotive assembly. Similarly, in offshore industry as well, we can make use of for wind and energy segment, we can make use of SFE concepts. So these SFE concepts come with the ready-made available libraries for automotive segment or any other segment. And using these libraries, we can quickly position the assembly, make change of variables, and then start doing the design of experiments to arrive at the overall the right shape or right optimized design. So this is another technique wherein there are tools which are available which will work 20 times or 15 times faster than the regular design and simulation tools. Because there are inbuilt libraries, we are able to do these quick simulations and find out alternative designs for the overall vehicle body structure. So in this case, as I said, the advantages are that we can do 20 times faster generation of simulation geometry, because if you take a regular approach from the design department, it goes to simulation department in the form of IGS or STEP. Again, it is all coming in bits and pieces because they will not give the complete assembly in one go. And then once assembly is made, again, we need to look at the overall meshing of the entire body structure. And finally, setting all the loading conditions and constraints before going for simulation. So this entire aspect of doing the simulation after design process and again going for iterations will take a lot of time. So if you go for SFE concepts, you are actually reducing a lot of time. You are saving a lot of time. At the same time, you are arriving at different alternative design concepts in a quickest possible way. So again, there are many customers, OEMs, who are using these particular techniques. We have, Jaguar, Land Rover, JLR. They use these SFE concepts. Honda also uses SFE concepts. Ford also uses SFE concepts. So they make use of these tools effectively because they want to save a lot of time on a design process, and also they want to arrive at the best of shapes and models using this overall SFE concepts. So this is another way of looking into lightweight engineering. So JLR and Honda are critical examples in this process. So now let us move on to the third process, which is reverse engineering. So in case of reverse engineering, again, you will be receiving the cloud point data, and how fast you can create surface models from the cloud point data and make use of these surface models for further design processes quickly and arrive at the final shape. This is where the reverse engineering is going to be very helpful in terms of design lead times, overall cost reduction, and also the overall weight reduction as well. Because you should have a quality surface which can be edited and modified anytime to arrive at the final shape. So such kind of processes are available under CATIA reverse engineering. So I will take a simple example of surface model reconstruction using this reverse engineering process. We have something called a digitized shape editor or digitized shape to surface model, wherein you bring in the cloud point data. Again, there are multiple formats supported by CATIA, either IGS or ASCII format or any other. There are around 12 to 13 formats are supported. You can bring in this cloud point data directly from the image scanner, and then we can create the overall surface in a quickest fashion. So there are multiple examples with respect to automotive industry. We can look at even shape morphing, shape controls. We have various range of surface modules which can take care of reverse engineering very effectively. We can go for quick surface reconstruction. So by doing so, we can get the actual model in the form of surface, a high quality surface model, and this surface model can be utilized for further design processes quickly, and we can arrive at the best shape. This is something which is possible only through reverse engineering. Just a minute. So here are some of the examples. Even in case of spring also, we can see the shape morphing. We can make use of shape morphing tools for the constrained spring as well as the regular spring. And similarly, we also have something called real shape morphing. We can offset the surfaces quickly and arrive at the final shape in a quickest possible way. So having one surface, one quality surface is good enough to save the time on entire design process. So this is how reverse engineering will help in terms of lightweight engineering. So what are the key benefits? One thing is we are able to reconstruct the surfaces quickly from the CAD model, and we are able to measure the deviations. We have surface deviation analysis tools which are readily available, and you can see what is the difference between actual CloudPan data and the surface which is generated. So what is the deviation and gap? We can analyze that gap, and we can accurately create the shape in a shortest span of time. So that is something which is possible under reverse engineering. So this reverse engineering is one of the processes which can contribute towards lightweight engineering. Then comes the another important aspect from the material perspective. We can make use of composites in automotive industry, and we can bring out the best of components using composite materials. So I will take a simple example with respect to automotive industry, wherein we are able to create a B pillar of an important global OEM, BMW. So in this case, this is a B pillar which is taken, and we extract the surface of the B pillar here, and now we are trying to create go for the ply definition. So typically we need to define the different set of materials which will contribute to B pillar, and then once we define the materials, we go for ply definition and ply generation. Again, there are multiple techniques under CATIA. It could be manual ply generation or automatic ply generation. Again, following different techniques like zonal approach or grid approach, like that. So we can make use of multiple techniques under CATIA to get the stack up for this entire model. So once the stack up is defined with the sequence, then we can go for the manufacturing preparation. So stack up is being created here in a manual approach. We can also follow multiple techniques in this regard. Since it is a simple component within automotive segment, we are able to complete this process with the manual ply definition and the complete stack up. So once plies are defined with the materials, orientation, and also the thickness, we can see the complete ply section using the this sectioning definition. So we can cut the section and see how many number of plies are there in this particular section and how they are defined with respect to the materials. So if you have any specific materials, it will highlight that in different colors. So this is how we complete the stack up definition. We can also export that into Excel sheets, and we can also modify in Excel sheet and bring it back into CATIA. That we can change the design, you can change the entire stack up by using the Excel sheet itself. So this kind of faster editing and modifications can be done using CATIA composites. So in this case, all are carbon fibers. So every ply is defined with its ply area, ply thickness, and ply orientation. So once we update that, we can see the update on the ply section as well. So once we complete this design, a detailed design of this B pillar component in composites, now we can go for the manufacturing preparation. So we need to look at producibility analysis, which is done under manufacturing preparation. Because before you get into manufacturing, you need to see whether fiber propagation behavior is correct or not. So for that, to check this fiber propagation behavior, we can set the seed point and run through producibility analysis and find out it is the particular ply is manufacturable or not. So we can do that testing here and complete that producibility analysis part, and then go ahead with the manufacturing. So here in this case, we are checking the limit contour options for every single ply. We are setting the limit contour options because there are some tapered areas which are to be taken care as a part of this design. So I'll quickly go through this. This is a typical component coming from BMW, wherein we are able to define the tapered areas correctly with the limited contour option. And once the plies are defined and validated, we can go for plybook generation. So in the plybook, basically we need to flatten all the plies first. So we need to do all the flattening of the plies after producibility analysis, and we can generate the plybook from that. So this plybook is basically a documentation for the shop floor operator. So by looking at it, he knows exactly what is the orientation of each and every ply, and also the sequence of ply positioning. So he can know the sequence, ply number 1, ply number 2, ply number 3, like that. So he can accordingly place the plies, and whether it is a hand layup or machine layup, or whether because there are multiple set of processes which are available as a part of this arrangement. So we can run through all this effectively using CATIA composites. So once we have come out with the final shape, we can take these plies in the form of plybook to the shop floor and manufacture them. So again, based on different types of processes, be it resin transfer molding or VARTM, vacuum assisted resin transfer molding, hand layup, machine layup, filament binding. So based on different techniques, we can set the manufacturing process and go ahead. So this is one typical way of reducing the weight, and also this B pillar, which is going to be stronger with composite materials, can perform better than the regular metal components. So this is the drafting manufacturing documentation which is being highlighted here. So this is one example I wanted to highlight. So later on, you can also go for the plybook generation. What I said, you can go for all the flattened plies, and then generating the plybook. It's the sequence of the plies. It also highlights a ply number, ply part number, and what is the orientation of the ply, or what material is used. Everything is highlighted in plybook. So this is how we contribute to composites detailed design and manufacturing. And today, most of the automotive OEMs, they are looking for lightweight engineering through this composites process, because this is going to be long lasting, especially in the luxury car segment. These composite materials are heavily utilized. Even for Volkswagen also uses for sunroof panels, and we have BMW, we have Lamborghini, and all the luxury car segment, they go for composite materials as a part of this lightweight engineering. So what are the benefits of composites? You all know, like in terms of corrosion resistance, then the reduction in weight, and also the structural stiffness and thermal resistance. Apart from that, the longevity or durability, again against fatigue also. So it can withstand many things. So that is how you can benefit from using CATIA composites for lightweight engineering. So here are some of the examples, like we have Plasan, we have I was showing the BMW example for i3, which is meant for electric car. i3 is electric car from BMW, wherein they have used CATIA composites for detailed design as well as manufacturing. Then we also have Lamborghini, where they have utilized composites effectively using CATIA. So I will move on to, because the same things are applicable. The lightweight engineering is equally applicable for the electric vehicle segment as well. So there are so many electric cars which are coming in on the road, wherein they are able to make use of CATIA composites or the shape optimization tools for the design through this CATIA. Then comes hydroform sheet metal design. So from the regular sheet metal fabrication process, we can deviate from that and get into hydroforming process, which is going to be more effective and provides better structural stiffness for the component. At the same time, the design process can be more robust as well. So in this case, I will take you through small example on sheet metal design. So this is a typical example wherein we can make use of a free-form surface, and we can create the component on this free-form surface, which is again running in 3 different directions, X, Y, Z. So we can create that shape. We can pass on this shape of the component onto this free-form surface, and accordingly we can create the walls, surfacing flanges, joggles, and any other twist that is needed. Apart from that, regular stampings. These stamps also we can do quickly and see. The important advantage of CATIA hydroform sheet metal design is that we can create complex sheet metal components in a very shorter duration, and at the same time, it is going to be very useful in terms of folding and unfolding operations. We can create unfolded views effectively with a click of a button. So we can make use of all the elements of sheet metal process. It can be bridges, lowers, stampings, punch and die operations, surfacing flanges, joggles. All these things are readily available, and we can also quickly do these design changes as and when needed. So this will follow the process of hydroforming principles, and it is very effective in terms of the design integrity, and also it will reduce the overall weight. At the same time, it will also reduce the design lead time. So these are the most important advantages, because there are ready-made tools which are readily available in CATIA, which are well proven in the industry for more than 3 decades. So this is a typical example of a hydroform sheet metal design, which we are highlighting here. As I said, we can create folded and unfolded views effectively from this. So there are multiple operations, because there are multiple benefits coming from these particular processes. As I said, we can contribute to lightweight engineering from the manufacturing processes. So one of the processes is hydroformed sheet metal design. Then comes stamping die face design. So again, under stamping die face design, we need to look at the the press line, how we are going to set up the press line, and also remove all the scrap elements in the initial design stage. Here also, CATIA stamping die face design will be extremely useful for the automotive industry. So in this case, if you see the process, the typical process will be like this. We are going to set the part layout, the blank definition. Then we are looking at the trimming concept, identifying the flanges, then operations planning, then and also the scrap elements concept, then followed by surface extensions, because typically we have to look at the extrapolated surfaces on the profile, and then automatic filling, because we need, while doing this filling of surface element, we also need to look at the continuities. So CATIA surface design is one of the strongest tools available in the market. So we can make use of these surface design tools effectively for this stamping die face design process. From the manufacturability perspective, the CATIA surface which is generated is a very high quality surface, which has never failed in terms of manufacturability, because it adheres to the mathematical principles. So I will just quickly take you through this process. I know this is a short webinar in which we are trying to look at the concepts which will contribute towards lightweight engineering. I will quickly take you through this. In this process, we are looking at the optimal stamping direction first for this given component. And then we are defining the compass, that is robo, we call it as here in CATIA, in this process. And then later on, we look at the final elements in terms of edges. So look at all the flange areas and fillets. Then we can increase the productivity by automatic split of these elements by having 3D curves. So CATIA has a 3D curve definition, which can be very effectively useful in this regard. So we can quickly generate the extrapolated surface from this model, and we can fill the surface which is part of, which is between the splits. So this kind of filling the surface with tangential continuities, it's a very effective tool with respect to DIFIS design operations. So the surface design modules will definitely help in this aspect, because they take care of high quality surface with all the continuities. And then you can see the set of operations for this DIFIS design. The press the press lineup is ready. And then we can go for multiple wall surfaces definition. We can fill the areas quickly and arrive at the final surface. So this final surface quality will be very high, and it will be it can be used for downstream processes effectively. So this way, in this entire process, we are actually looking for the scrap elements. So whichever is highlighted in the red is a scrap element. We can remove that scrap elements in the initial design process itself, and ensure that we in a least possible time we go for the best of design in this case. So that is how CATIA stamping die-phase design is going to be helpful for lightweight engineering. The design lead time is going to drastically reduce, because we are going to make use of the knowledge, know-how from CATIA design. So this is another example of a manufacturing process which is highlighted. So here in this case, we can look for a 50% gain in the productivity, and also it is a fast and robust update. If you are making any small changes here and there in the design, they can be impacted immediately in the die-phase design process. That is something which is very important from the design iterations perspective. Then comes CATIA mold and tooling design. I will not take much time here. I will come out of this mold and tooling design workflow process. This is a typical process through which we follow. Here also we have very effective tools, for plastic parts, especially for thinned plastic parts. We can see improvement in terms of 10% faster design, and so on. So if you see in terms of overall summary, we have made use of different technologies to reduce the overall weight of a part, and also reduce the cost. At the same time, we are able to reduce the total overall design lead time. We are able to see minimum 10% of productivity gains through different manufacturing processes. So be it geometry function using again topology and shape optimization tools, or be it materials using composites, or be it manufacturing processes or joining techniques, we are able to greatly benefit from these CATIA advanced modules, which are very much contributing to lightweight engineering. So I will summarize with a small video which will complete this entire lightweight engineering for the automotive industry. So in this case, it will summarize like what are all the things that can be possible from the automotive industry perspective. So we have gone through several examples. This is a summary of what are all possible under lightweight engineering or lightweighting. So in this case, the typical example is a spoiler of a car, which is staying at the back, which is again made out of composites. So be it a cognitive augmented design or simulation driven design, or it could be composites or hydroformed sheet metal parts or reverse engineering. So all these aspects can address lightweight engineering or weight optimization. So this example was highlighted in the beginning in terms of weight optimization using design, simulation and optimization tools in one single go. right? So in this case, we are arriving at the shapes with respect to manufacturing processes quickly, and we are able to finalize the final shape coming from the specific manufacturing process. We call it as cognitive augmented design because we are able to recognize those augmented shapes and then change the design accordingly. And the second aspect, as I said, it is SFE concepts, the simulate FE mesh models. So we have ready-made libraries available for a car, which can be utilized effectively, and we can quickly run through the simulation for the entire vehicle body structure, and we can arrive at the overall dimensions quickly here. So be it a crash analysis or or be it a regular non-linear analysis or a static analysis, we can do all those things using these SFE concepts and arrive at the overall body structure. Then the next one is the reverse engineering. Here we are taking the scanned image from the car and we are reflecting that in CATIA digitized shape to surface role module. In this case, we are able to quickly create the surface and also ability to modify this surface quickly. So which is again going to be tangent and curvature continuous. This way, we are not only creating the surface model exactly, but also we are able to do the modifications and changes to impact the overall weight of the part. So design modifications are very quick with respect to reverse engineered surface from CATIA. Then the next part is composite materials. Again, this is for the spoiler, which is used in the automotive vehicle. Here, in this case, we are able to create this composite material from the compressed molding process. So we can make use of these, again, set of composite processes. We can check the fiber propagation of the plies, and we can flatten the plies, and we can go for the plybook generation using this. Then comes hydroform sheet metal design, which is again very effective in terms of structural performance and integrity, and also the overall stiffness. In this case, we are able to arrive at this kind of design effectively in using the sheet metal hydroform sheet metal workbench in CATIA. So these are a set of summary of manufacturing processes through which we are arriving at the lightweight engineering. So we have set of roles available for all these aspects as a part of this. Here again, another example, for the front hood, front panel. In this case, we are trying to create the stamping die face design. Again, removing these scrap elements in the beginning stage of the design itself. So we can create this entire press line in a quickest way, and which is also possible for future design iterations. So we can, making use of all these modules, we are able to make the products lighter, better, and also performance efficient. So this is something which we can achieve with these modules, which are also well proven in the industry. So overall, the lightweight engineering process will save weight, and it will save money, and also it will lead to the best of designs from using CATIA. So this is the overall summary which I wanted to highlight from the perspective of lightweight engineering. And this is the summary which will highlight how to benefit lightweight engineering using these geometry and functions or materials or manufacturing processes or joining techniques. There are many more aspects here which I could not cover, but still all those aspects are meant for weight reduction, cost reduction, and also improving the performance of a given component or assembly or device. And you can reach out to me at the rate srikumar.vlr@vdstechnologies.com, or you can reach out to our organization for info@vdstechnologies.com or marketing@vdstechnologies.com. So you are welcome for all kinds of queries with respect to lightweight engineering, and we have technical staff and professionals who can come and address you at your location, at your office. For more details, you can definitely connect us through these mail IDs and phone numbers. So once again, thank you all for your patience and attention. I'll be very keen to take up more queries from your end. And also, if somebody any of you need a specific presentation or demonstration with respect to the tools what we have highlighted today, you are very much welcome. We will come and address you at your location, at your office. Thank you, one and all.